All right, everybody, we got a good one for you tonight on Top 5. We're listing our favorite albums from 1987.
Welcome to Top 5 with Joey Cassata. Starring Joey Cassata.
Team Jesus, my friend. Am I walking around, Park?
Co-starring Ernie Palooza. And the Doctor, Tommy Snyder.
Goddamn.
Now here's your host, Joey Cassata.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Top 5. I'm your host, Joey Cassata.
And I'm George Michael, and I want your top 5 picks.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say something else there, Ernie. Get a little fresh. And back by popular demand again, he has returned, known by many names, the Monster, the Doctor.
What's up, boys?
Hello, my friend.
So before we get started, I got to show off. They just hot off the presses. The Ernie T Shirts are now available on Amazon. Yes, that is Ernie as a kid. More adorable than ever. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that face. Jesus Christ, Ernie. How thick are those
Look at
glasses?
that head of hair.
Look at those glasses.
I don't know, it's the lips that are
They're the
frightening me. I think Tommy
The
just
glasses are
beat
the
me up,
same.
and that's why I'm bleeding.
Available now. They're on Amazon. You can get them. Just type in top 5 with Joey Cassata. The Ernie shirt will come up. If not, I will post the link on all our social media pages, and I'll post it at the end of this episode too, or even at the bottom of this episode. Anyone that sends me a picture, like I said, wearing an Ernie shirt, I will have at least mention some comments or have a brief appearance of you on the show. But if you're wearing one and holding one, you will be a guest on one of our episodes. You got to be wearing an Ernie shirt and holding an Ernie shirt. So that's 2 Ernie shirts. If you send me a picture, first person that does that is a guest on a future episode with Ernie's topic. Maybe we'll do top 5 Ernie moments that night.
We are business geniuses.
All right, so before we get into this topic, which I think is going to be great, we got to talk a little bit about last week's episode. Now, I was away. I was on the road with Eric Martin and the boys. I was gone. The Doctor was busy, softball, sleeping in the cemetery. I'm not sure what he was up to. And Ernie, I suggested he do a Black Sabbath episode because I will never do a Black Sabbath episode. And obviously, the Doctor's a big fan of Sabbath. I'm surprised. I couldn't believe he didn't do it with him, but he got a very special guest, Brian DeVito. Ernie, tell us how this went.
It went fine. It was over half an hour, and we didn't get to any picks yet. We got stuck talking about Kiss for like over 15 minutes, which was strange because you weren't even there.
Ernie texted me in the middle of the week, and this is how I always read Ernie's texts. Joe, woo! You're not going to be too happy with the length of this episode. So immediately when I heard that I wasn't going to be happy with the length of the episode, I figured him and DeVito did like 16 minutes. And maybe they had nothing to talk about, and they signed off. They wind up sending me the episode 2.5 hours. I don't know what the hell they were even talking about.
You guys named 10 Black Sabbath songs in 2.5 hours?
Yes.
I actually listened to it. At the 1 hour mark, we were only up to number 4.
DeVito we know firsthand because he's been on a couple other episodes. He could talk.
Oh, he likes to talk. He likes the sound of his own voice. There's no doubt about it.
Wow.
Yeah, but this was without Ozzy, so I could care less.
Yeah.
Although I respect Dio tremendously. I love him in his solo career, but I'm strictly Ozzy Sabbath guy. So
You would have.
no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't bother me in the least.
Now we got some good feedback from the episode.
Really?
Yeah, we got some good feedback. They liked the topic. They liked the picks. There was some feedback. Let's just leave it at that.
I'm surprised.
So let's dive into this week's episode. Obviously, this is gonna be a good one. We're gonna continue our series of our top albums of a specific year. I think the first one we did was 1984, right?
Yes.
So I'm just picking random years. Someone actually emailed me, and one of their suggestions was this year. So why not go with this year? I mean, we could really do any year, and it would be a great topic. But there's a couple real good years in those 80s year. I think 86 might be a little better than 87, but 87 is fantastic. You guys have a good time researching this one?
Yeah, I didn't know why you guys picked 87, but then when I got on the computer, I was like, wow. A lot of stuff there. A lot of good stuff.
What about you, Ern?
I'm looking. You're not gonna like at least two of my choices at all.
I'm pretty sure I know one, and it's the shirt you're wearing right now. But
There's one you'll probably like even less.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, before we dig in,
not your type of music.
Is it? I think maybe I do know. Hold on. I don't know who it is, but I think I know the genre anyway. Before we start, we're recording a little bit late tonight. I believe the monster's at work, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to play this topic today, but let's try it anyway. Doc, what are you drinking tonight?
No, I'm having Tito's and soda.
Well, he's keeping it light. He's at work.
I'm off the clock, and I'm stuck here. I got to sleep here, so.
Is that why those things behind you I see steam coming out? Is that okay? Or you're off the clock, you're not looking?
No, it's not steam. It's all right. The building's it's an old building. The fire panels.
It's like the end of The Shining.
Yes, you're right.
Right.
Ernie, what are you drinking?
Up the French vanilla decaffeinated tea.
Whoa.
Helps me fall asleep.
Yeah, I just got a water tonight too. I don't know. I'm not into. I was drinking a little heavy this last weekend, so I'm keeping it light for a couple of days.
You need to detox.
Exactly.
Ernie, shouldn't you drink that after the podcast?
It makes my voice flow.
I still want the NyQuil. I want us all to do a shot of NyQuil as we start the episode and see who dozes off first.
It's been recording for 12 hours. And there's nothing there.
All right, let's dive in. I mean, this episode's gonna be great. There's so many great albums to choose from. I'm assuming we're gonna have some duplicates, but I'm dying to see where you guys went. Ernie, no, you know what, Doctor? Let's start with you.
Okay. I went with Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Although my feelings for that band has changed over the years. When that album came out, like I always say, game changer. It was something completely different. They sounded unique. The songs, I'm trying to remember back then. Right now, I could give a rat's ass about any of the shit. But back then, it was freaking amazing. Even Axl Rose's voice was revered. So, yeah, they didn't sound like anyone else. It was awesome.
I agree with this choice.
Yeah.
This is on my list too.
Listen, I understand the choice. I get it, but I just never was a fan. Never a fan of the band at all. Always despised Axl's voice. Never could get into it. Never thought it was good. I remember having an argument with my friend, and we were in grammar school in the parking lot. He's like, "Oh, have you heard this new band, Guns N' Roses?" I'm like, "Yeah, God, that guy's he can't sing. He's terrible." He's like, "What are you talking about? It's the greatest thing ever." So, listen, I understand people liking it. I just can't get into it. I really can't.
The album is solid.
Yep.
I mean, I guess Out to Get Me, maybe, or what's the other one? Thinking About You.
I don't
But
know
otherwise, the album is solid all the way through.
Yeah,
Every
it is.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you said game changer, listen, I get it. And Nirvana was a game changer too. Didn't make me like it. And Guns N' Roses too. I was, obviously, I think we were all into the hair metal stuff and pop metal, whatever the hell you want to call it, Bon Jovi and Cinderella and that stuff. When Guns N' Roses came in, they started that like I always called it dirty metal. I called it like, you know, that the black leather and the dark black hair and, you know, the pale looking skin, where everything else was fun and happy, and Guns N' Roses was drugs and, you know, that type of stuff, like dreary. It's just I never got into the look and the sound.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but we're just talking about the album here.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. Listen, I get it. It's obviously still lives up to one of the biggest selling albums ever, right?
Oh, it's way up there now.
All right, good start. I hope that was Ernie's number one. It would be. No, I think I know Ernie's number one. Come on, Ernie. What do you got? Number 5.
This was an album that I had to go to Drago's house to listen to all the time. Nobody else owned it. They had it. I don't even know if I know how to pronounce the title of this band. In Excess, or In Excess, maybe.
In Excess, right?
In Excess.
In
There we go.
Excess.
Yeah. They came out with Kick in 1987, and everybody said this was a pop band, but it sounded like rock to me, and I loved it. Devil Inside is a rock song as far as I'm concerned. The whole album is good. New Sensation, Need You Tonight, and Never Tear Us Apart is one of the greatest songs from this year, actually, in my opinion.
Never Tear Us Apart is like my top, I would say, top 15 love songs of all time.
Wow.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I mean, I know a little bit about, you know, the hits and stuff, but I really don't know the band. I gotta go back and listen to them. It's not something I ever really listened to. I know, you know, if they come on, I know them, but it's not something. New Sensation, I definitely know. I don't know the band. I definitely don't know the record.
Devil Inside?
Not off the top of my head. If I heard it, maybe I would know it.
Devil Inside. The Devil Inside.
It sounds like rock to me. They said it was a pop album, but I thought it was rock.
Is this their first album, Ern?
I don't think so.
You know, Doc?
No, I don't know. I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
Good choice. I don't know enough about them. Are they still around, Ern?
No, the thing is
He hung himself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the
from a
singer's
shower
name?
curtain.
Michael Hutchins.
He hung himself with a shower curtain?
On
He
a
hung
shower
himself
curtain.
by
You can't hang yourself with a shower curtain. You can hang from a shower curtain.
That's not true. You have more of a chance of hanging it with the shower. What kind of shower is he in?
You'd have to be doing a chin up and put your head on top of the shower curtain.
It's a strong shower curtain.
To use it to
rod
hang
there.
I don't want to get too much into it because it's sad, but he hung himself by accident. He was into a certain type of
I get it.
sexual thing, really.
Yeah, asphyxiation.
Yeah.
Smart, real morons out. There's really a lot of idiots in this world, isn't there? It really is.
He had the devil inside.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
have to say, he was looking for that new sensation.
We're going to hell.
Hold
We're
on.
all going to hell.
We're taking a little swig of the basil, Hayden.
There you go.
Well, that last.
Right back to where you were. They had a whole TV show with replacing the singer. It was a reality TV show.
Yes, Rockstar in Excess.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
All right, good start. Yeah, good start. The Guns N' Roses I don't love. In Excess, I don't really know, so I'm glad we talked about it. My number 5, I talk about this guy all the time. I don't think the doctor still hasn't gone and listened to him.
Richard Marx.
Richard Marx's first record, 1987. Fantastic. Oh my God, what a debut record. So many great hits on this record, but all the B-sides too are killer. Just a great, again, pop rock record. I know he's Mr. Ballad, but he's really not. Go back and listen to the first record. It's, it's way more along the lines of Bryan Adams and stuff like that. It's power pop, which is really basically my favorite genre of music.
Is this his first album?
Yep.
It is.
Self-titled.
I'll go back.
Yep.
I'll check it out.
Self-titled. I actually prefer the second record, but this album is great too.
We got to follow up on our homework assignments. I don't know if you guys, did you check out the list, the SNL? Guys, afraid of plants?
Yeah, I look because so a little backstory on the SNL episode. So when we upload to YouTube, I try to include as many clips as we can, and sometimes YouTube blocks them, sometimes they don't. Most of the time we're good to go. The audio version, all the SNL clips were perfect. We were fine. They're all on the audio version. If you go onto Spotify or Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, everything is included. But for some reason, YouTube, every single SNL clip that I put on was blocked. They would not let me use even one of them. So that's why the episode took so long to air on YouTube. It's up there now without any of the clips, but that's one of the episodes I really wanted to include the clips because they are fantastic. Yes, the plant episodes with the googly eyes, I was crying as I was editing the episode, crying.
That's awesome. Yeah, you'll always know. You'll say it was the Ferns. I always knew it was going to be the
It was
Ferns.
so good. Because he's always plays Christopher Walken. He doesn't play anyone else. It was great.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right, back around to you, Doc. Number 4.
Did you even make a choice? Oh, yeah, you did. Okay.
See, Ernie, look, we're like 8 minutes in. We're up to number 4, not 1 hour in.
My list is really, it sticks to my genre of music that I always liked, and that's pretty much who I am. If we're talking a full album, I always stuck to my heavy metal and hard rock, So I had to go Def Leppard, Hysteria.
That's on my list.
I don't know if you guys remember Playground. I used to have the Love Bates broken heart on my ass. It was painted on my jeans. I know Joey did because I was always standing in front of him.
Yes, I didn't remember it until you just said it. Yes.
Because you were always looking at my ass.
Yeah,
I was always in front of you anyway.
That was my view the whole night.
So yeah, that song alone is fantastic. But it is it's a cool thing. They said during the hair metal sunset, Def Leppard released what is arguably its peak, Hysteria, before Guns N' Roses killed off the remaining glam metal bands.
Yeah, it's true.
But
I don't know the months. I don't know the
unbelievable.
months that they came out, but yeah, it always felt like I always thought Guns N' Roses didn't really hit in '87. They kind of took them a little bit to hit, right, Ernie?
They actually have the longest amount of time before an album between an album being released and finally hitting number 1 is Appetite for Destruction, where it took over a year.
Did it hit even in almost 89 almost? I feel like I remember Guns N' Roses being more like 89. When I saw 87 for Appetite, I was surprised.
Because it took so long. It took over a year it was out before it finally hit the number 1, which is the longest ever for an album.
Because like what Tommy said, pop metal, hair metal was still dominating everything in 87, 88, and then 89, it was starting to turn, I think.
Go ahead, Ern.
I was going to say, just what we're just talking about. Welcome to the Jungle was released as a single and it failed. Yeah. I mean, that's how. And then Sweet Child of Mine was released and went to number 1. And then Welcome to the Jungle came out again, and then it was a big hit. So they were having trouble at the beginning.
So you can basically say a Sweet Child of Mine doesn't hit big. They don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't know where that album goes. Correct?
We wouldn't be talking about them, would we?
Yeah, but you know what?
Might not be talking about them.
Very similar to your pick, Doctor. Hysteria didn't hit at first either. Hysteria was a flop until Pour Some Sugar came out. What was the first single? Love Bites or Animal, right? Or Women?
Animal.
Animal and Women was both released before Pour Some Sugar.
Right. Yeah. And listen, I love the record. It's on my honorable mentions. I think it's an incredible record. But if you really go back and listen to Animal and Woman, they're kind of weird songs to release first. You know what I mean? I love the songs, but I get why it didn't take off.
They don't have those songs don't have that catchy chorus.
Right.
So it is kind of weird that they came out. Yeah, but it took them like 3 years to come out with that album because of the accident that he went through.
Even more, maybe even more. 3 years. No, more, right? What year? Pyromania was what year?
Pyromania is 83.
I don't know what Pyromania was.
Pyromania is 83, so 4 years. And it's
so
funny.
Said 3 years. In the Wikipedia, they said 3 years.
You know what's so funny? Back then, I remember.
says 4 years.
which is what we go by, Ernipedia.
Yeah, well, they come out with the album, then they toured for a year. Then they went in the studio. There's your 3 years.
Oh, there you go.
And you know what's so funny too? As a kid, obviously we were all big fans of Pyromania, and I remember like, oh my god, why is it? I'm obviously he lost his arm, but still we were like, when the hell is Def Leppard going to release their new record? Nowadays, 3 years in between records is nothing. You're flying. You're great.
Yeah.
Back then, everyone was releasing 1 or 2 albums a year.
Right. You're right. Well, to date, it's sold 20 million copies. So
Yeah, they're happy.
What sold more, Ernie? Hysteria or Appetite? I'm going to guess Appetite, right?
I'm gonna guess Appetite, but I'm really not positive.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty
I gotta
close.
guess. It's gotta be Appetite.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Animal before, the first single. Another thing why it didn't do well, Animal is not rock at all.
Yeah.
It's just pop. There's no rock whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't compare that album to Pyromania at all. I mean, Pyromania was, more rock to me.
Agree.
Yeah, it was definitely more pop, without a doubt. But Love Bites is definitely one of my favorite songs, though.
Me too. I love the song Hysteria. It might be my favorite on the record. I love it.
Great. Yeah, that's a great song, too.
I think maybe people just weren't ready. I mean, it was so polished, that record, the sound and the quality. I almost feel like people weren't ready for it. Like the drum sound and the backing vocals and all this technology was taking
a lot
over.
Of overproduction, a lot of overproduction, and they could have very easily overshot that too.
Yeah,
it was very busy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All
right, Ernie, number 4.
You're gonna hate this one. In '87, one of my friends from Marine Park, Joey Gambaro, started throwing these big keg parties in the middle of the park, and these were hurricane keg parties. So we were definitely going to go because somehow.
Tell people what hurricane. What does that mean, Ernie?
Oh, this was the neighborhood football league. It wasn't associated with a high school. It was the neighborhood.
Yeah, Joey Cabaro threw football parties, and then Ernie started throwing shopping carts to windows.
Which was me leaving one of the Gambaro parties. By the way.
Ernie, you're such an innocent man. Not even I ever threw a shopping cart to the window.
Listen, I'm sure we've done worse than that, which we'll talk about in our own top 5 episodes, which we're going to do on each other. But what are you listening at these keg parties, Ernie?
Well, he always played the same album, and I just every time I hear this album, I go right back to these parties. It's a group called Boogie Down Productions, and the album is called Criminal Minded.
Sweet heaven.
And I'm assuming you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, probably.
Is the name of the artist Boogie Down Productions, really, Ernie?
Yeah, but BDP maybe might be more.
Familiar. Why didn't you say so?
The main rapper KRS-One. No, still nothing.
Oh, now I know. Hold on.
Can you give me a song that they?
You won't know it. The Bridge Is Over in South Bronx was big on this album. Criminal Minded, Dope Beat.
He's always got it. He always thinks he's the smartest one in the room. He's got to be the smartest one in the room. He's got to do these smart ass picks.
He is
When was the last? He is the smartest one in this room.
In his room, yeah. He's the only one in his room.
The only one in the room.
When was the last time you put down on Boogie Down Productions and KGGGP, whatever it is?
Yes, it has been a while. But the second I
WKRP
hear this album, the second I hear anything from this album, I'm transported back to these big parties that we all went to. Was somehow he got the cheerleaders to be going to them at night, and that was at that age that was a big deal.
No need to say more anymore. That's it. Again, I'll say it. I say it every week. I'll fucking keep saying it every week. That's why we do this show, transporting it back in time. If you can hear any song and it transports back to a great memory and a time and you're instantly there, that to me is what music is all about. 100%. Creates an emotion, a reflection, whatever it is, that makes even if you don't like the song, like the stupid Whitney Houston song from the Hamptons, Ernie. What's the Manny song?
My love is your love.
This
Right.
might answer your question. It's difficult to count the world's total number of songs. As new
Alexa,
music is
stop. Alexa was answering.
I guess you're not the only one in the room.
No, it's funny you said that because Love Bites. I took the lyrics from actually for It Could Have Been You. The same type of lyrics. They're almost mirrored lyrics. When he says, "When you make love, do you look in the mirror? Does he look like me?" And there's a lyric in there that's like, "When you're making love, do you cry my name or do you cry for him? And does he feel the same?" So I was along the same vein. Same vein.
You didn't steal any lyrics from Boogie Down Productions and GBLQ?
No,
I
but I'm
never
working on it
noticed
right
that.
now. Right after I get off of this, that's what I'm doing.
I never noticed that. Hey, Brian Johnson from AC/DC once mentioned this group.
In a good way or a bad way?
He said he once heard a rap version of Back in Black, and if anybody has it, he would love them to send it to him. He's been trying to get a hold of it, and I was going to try to find Brian Johnson's like address and everything because like I knew what
and
he was
it was
talking.
it was this band that did it.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
But what
It
does
was on
that
his
mean?
album. The song "Dope Beat."
He heard someone was doing his song. That doesn't mean he likes him. He could have heard it and said, "This sucks."
Good point.
That's not what he said, but he could have said that.
Well, how could he? He never heard it before, so how could he like him?
He says he heard once and he was trying to get a hold of it.
Listen, I can't
Only
imagine.
kidding, Ernie.
I can't imagine I like this music, but I do love the reason why you picked it. The story behind it, being transported back to the football keg parties with the cheerleaders there. Now, you trying to get the cheerleaders mud pies, Ernie? What are you giving it? What are you doing here?
They're drinking from the keg and just hoping they get drunk.
Thank God for those cheerleaders because he got arrested about the homework thing in school when he's stalking all the girls.
Hey, the one night I actually slept in the park all night long. I got so tired and drunk I decided to lie down on the grass, and it slept all night in the park for some reason. Was after one of those parties.
You slept just in the grass?
Yeah, in the middle of the park.
Nice.
I could have been murdered.
Who's gonna murder
Ernie,
you
was that
in
before
Marine
or
Park?
after, or was it during the winter when they moved down his basement, the parties? Is that what happened, or was it?
When I slept in the park, that was the summer. but yeah, the winter is when they went into the basement.
Yeah, his parents are very lenient. Let's put it that way. Very, very lenient.
Those were good times.
All right, back around to me, number 4. This one has to be, I'm probably on both of your lists, I'm going to assume. If not, definitely on one of your lists. Whitesnake, 87. Just a great record. I mean, I already knew Whitesnake. Whitesnake was, and this is a great topic we're going to do in the future too. Billy brought it up. Whitesnake was a big U68 band for us back in New York, right? There was a lot of Slide It In and Slow and Easy on U68. U68 was a channel we would get literally on the UFH frequency, UHF, right? UHF frequency, and the U68 channel would be the music channel we would get, and sometimes we would get the Power Hour, and they'd have like metal videos because I didn't have cable at this time, and the only other way to see videos for me was like Friday night videos, and very rarely did they play, old Whitesnake videos or. U68 played Thor and Raven and a lot of good stuff. But I already knew Whitesnake. I wasn't a big Whitesnake fan yet, but when this record came out, obviously this is the commercial Whitesnake record. It just, it took over the world.
That's my number one pick.
Wow.
John Sykes. What can't you say about that guy on that guitar? He's unbelievable. He's a phenom. Everyone know. Well, I don't know who's familiar with him, but if you know anything about heavy metal or something, John Sykes is a well-known guitarist, and the album it's heavy, it's clean, the production's fantastic. His voice is awesome.
Awesome.
The songs, Crying in the Rain. You gotta be kidding me, man.
Still of the Night. I mean, again, I know a lot of these are overplayed through the years, but holy cow, here I go again. Even though it was on a previous Whitesnake album, this is the better version. So many great songs, and like you said, it's not too commercialized where it's like pop metal. It's still heavy, but yet it has all those pop sensibilities that the other commercial rock bands were doing at the time.
I just described the sound on that album as just clean.
Yeah, it was
It's
great.
very clean, very well produced. And the songs, awesome. And the videos, let's not forget about Katane.
Of course. Yeah, it's like the first, reoccurring video vixen, right? In that time. And I don't know the story behind the band. Obviously, Sykes is on this whole record, but Sykes, then it does this, he like leaves, right? And then that's when they get like
He's his
Vivian
own thing.
Campbell, and then obviously later
Sykes
on
is his-
Steve
Sykes
Vai.
is his
And
own- Yeah, Sykes is his own thing. So he just teamed up. He's in the writing credits with Coverdale.
yeah, but John
So they-
Sykes
they-
was
they
on,
teamed
but
up
he
for the
was on
album.
he was on the previous record or two also, right? John Sykes was the guitar player for a while in Whitesnake.
I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know that.
I'm not positive either,
like
but
it when listened to it.
I think so. Ernie, do you know?
I know Sykes went and made Blue Murder.
Yeah, I
Can
know
you look
that.
it up? Because I'm
Carmine.
curious now.
I know Sykes was on the Slide It In stuff. That's definitely Sykes. Let's see.
You just mentioned something interesting. Which I was
What,
going
Ern?
to say, we liked this album when it came out, but there are some albums from the 80s that got by me that I never heard until the last 15, 20 years. Out of those albums, the one I think I love the most is Whitesnake's Slide It In.
It's so good.
I didn't hear this album until about 15 years ago. We never listened to it when we were younger for some reason.
This album dominated. This was the album that dominated.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just those two records, Slide It In and Whitesnake. Those are the two Sykes records, 84 and
It's,
87.
Eight-time platinum,
Yeah.
or whatever that means.
Well, 8-time. I mean, that's means.
Well, I know
8,
what that means.
Right.
But I'm saying, but
Yeah. I mean, again, that summer of 87 is like a big summer for me. This album was everywhere. We played this album to death. So
then you also had the comparison of Still the Night to Kashmir.
Sure,
The styles.
right.
With kind of remind, and his voice, of
Right.
course, is in the same range almost as Robert Plant. So there's a lot of similarities.
And like you said before, Ernie, for some reason, this record, whenever I hear songs like Here I Go Again, I get transported back to block parties in the summer. Block parties all over the neighborhood. We were basically in the same neighborhood. I was a little bit further towards Flatbush than you guys, but I remember being on, 36th Street, 35th Street, all those block parties I used to go to all the time. And this, the big DJ right in the middle of the block, and Whitesnake, this record would always be pumping throughout the night.
Yep. Awesome pick.
All right, Doc, back around. Number 3.
Way to take my number 1. Okay. Tribute, Ozzy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, surprising.
Look, we got 2 Ernies on screen.
Hey,
Really? Are you really picking this Ozzy record?
I have to.
Oh, Jesus.
The whole thing of the folklore of Randy Rhoads never being heard live before was freaking mind-blowing. Now, I don't know if you can understand that. I know you love Derek Carr, but if he had died tragically and it was never a live album ever released and just studio stuff,
I mean,
it would mean a lot to you to hear him play live. Not that I was a guitarist.
it's exactly what you just described. Eric Carr died tragically, and there was never a live album released. there's videos. There's live videos, concerts of Eric.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there was no footage up to that date. None.
Crazy.
Absolutely nothing. It was insane. So you would and it was the first time you actually heard like Randy actually do a guitar solo, by itself, in and out by itself. It was fantastic. It was mind blowing. The songs, I didn't go out and buy the album. I think I might have just to hear Randy, but the songs I could give a crap about. I heard them 1,000 times. I
What
just wanted to
tour
hear
was
Randy.
that recorded on?
Diary.
That's the
Diary
Diary
tour?
Man. Yeah.
That's his last tour?
Yes. Yep.
No, I know, and I picture the album cover. I know it. Was there any live videos released to coincide with that, or no?
They released the Crazy Train video.
Yeah,
ever
but
see it?
I know
It's
the
not live.
I know the one.
No, it's not live. It's on a
Ozzy
stage
has
in
the
a
short
town.
hair, right? Yeah.
No. There's a video that they're playing, but it's not in a stadium live.
Okay.
It might be a show, I think, in Manhattan or something.
Oh, okay.
You know, but yeah, I mean, it was a big deal for everyone to hear what Randy sounded like live, and playing Black Sabbath, what he sounded like.
Oh,
Black
there's Sabbath stuff on that record too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a double album, so he did it all. So he really changed it up big time.
No, I get it for Ozzy fans. I get why that's a big moment. Sure. I didn't even realize that was 87.
Yeah, I thought it was later, but no, 87.
I think the picture on the cover is actually hysterical if you take a look at it though.
Yeah, it's great.
But you know how light Randy has to be and how strong Ozzy has to be to hold somebody up by one leg like that?
I don't think the second is necessarily true. From pictures that I've seen of Randy, he was maybe 110 pounds. Maybe.
You could
Well,
only
Ozzy
do that.
also
You could only
picked up
hold a toddler like that. Really.
Right.
Ozzy did. Ozzy did. He picked up that little Chinese kid that was playing Crazy Train too, the same way.
Yep.
You ever see that?
Right. And
It
Ozzy's
was
no.
on the Ellen show.
Oh, I don't
On
remember.
the Ellen show, the Oriental kid comes out, and he's a virtuoso, and he plays old Randy Rhoads, and the kid's like 7 years old, little Oriental kid, and all of a sudden Ozzy comes sneaking up behind him as he's talking to Ellen, and Ozzy's standing behind him, and the kid turns around. The kid doesn't know what to do, so they start jamming, and the kid plays the leads, and Ozzy picks him up like he picked up Randy. It's kind of funny. Yeah.
And
And he
Ozzy's,
brought him on tour with him.
Ozzy's no beefcake either. He doesn't look like he's a strong man.
But he was big in that time period. Though.
He kind of looks like how I looked in Playground next to Brandon, Steve, and Brian. You know, 3 mops. I look like a freaking. I look like a pro wrestler. Ridiculous.
All right. I don't love the pick, but I get it.
Yeah, well, if you were out front, Joey, at least you would have made me look respectable.
That's how I
You
was
were
hiding.
hiding behind the drum set.
I was hiding my ass in the back.
So,
All right. Somehow we got Ozzy into the episode again. Ernie, what do you got? Number 3.
The finest pop metal album ever, in my opinion, Hysteria. It's every song.
you got good taste, Ernie. Good taste.
Yes. Well, you ruined a couple of my choices already, but by the way, but yeah, Hysteria is my number 3 for this year. It's great.
I'm so surprised that you guys haven't. I know what your number ones are anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
No, you don't know my number 1. I think I know Ernie's.
I know I haven't listened to it yet, so I'll leave it at that. You guys keep telling me to listen to it, but anyway.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, what can you say about Hysteria's?
Yeah,
Like
listen,
I said, very busy, very busy. A lot of shit going on in each song.
it didn't make my list, but it's a phenomenal record. It's a record I go back to a lot. I listen to it a lot. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's got so many hits.
Yeah.
It's almost a
Joe,
great.
can you play? How do you play when you just have you ever jammed out to him? And how he plays with the how do you,
No, it's regular playing because he's not substituting anything. All he's doing, he's playing his rhythm hand with his regular right hand, and then
Right.
instead of hitting the left hand with the snare, he hits his left foot. So he's not removing anything. So it's regular. It's just with his
Okay.
left foot. So I mean, when I've covered Def Leppard songs over the years, I don't do that. Obviously, I play regular, but no, it's incredible what he did.
you don't
It really
you don't
is.
pull your arm in? You don't pull your arm in the sleeve and
I tape it up.
nice.
Do you guys know the story of how he got to stay in the band after he lost his arm? He's in a hospital room. The singer is visiting him, and he goes, "I still want to play drums." And the singer's looking at him with one arm, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." The singer thought it was the drugs talking.
He thought his arm was still intact.
Well,
From what I remember,
well, the story is
because
they
he had the fan.
they
phantom
reattached
limb
it.
thing going. He
They-
thought he thought he still had his arm.
They reattached
did.
his arm,
Yes, he did.
and
It's fine.
it was on for a couple days. and it didn't take. It started to get, all discolored, gangrene and stuff.
I heard he was.
And they
he was
had to
playing in a
amputate
show
it.
and the arm- I heard he was playing in a show and the arm came off. It just tore. Look at his face.
That's right
I
out of
don't- I
Monty
don't-
Python.
I don't know.
Yeah,
If
there you go.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard after when the arm they had to amputate the arm, they tried attaching a drumstick instead. But I don't know if this is true.
You're disgusting, Ernie.
Just shove a drumstick in.
I did hear like
They're-
they didn't know if he was going to be able to do it. So their very first show back, they had like another guy off stage drumming as well, and backing him up. And then by the end of that first show, they're like, we don't need you anymore. He was totally fine doing it himself. And
You know what's
it's
messed up
incredible
about this
story.
thing? He has been playing longer now with one arm than he was with two for like quite a few,
no, he was
quite a few
only like
years now. It's
he was,
wild.
he was probably 25.
15, 20 years now.
Yeah, he was probably 23, 25 when he got his arm cut off. Crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, great pick, Ern. All right, so my number 3. Now I'm going to do an Ernie here. I have 2 choices from a number 3. Only because I know for sure one of them is Ernie's, and I'm going to leave it for him. This is the kind of guy that I am. I'm going to leave it for him. Now, the other one also might be one of Ernie's, but I wanted one of these on my list no matter what. So I'm going to go with the other one. I think the other one will be Ernie's. So I'm going to go number 3, Michael Jackson's Bad. Just, again, I know he's a piece of garbage of, all the stories that came out, but this right after Thriller, what an incredible record. I mean, The Way You Make Me Feel, Dirty Diana, Smooth Criminal, so many. This album is phenomenal. Michael is still, I mean, he did some good stuff after this, but this is his last great record.
Yep.
I respect him. Dirty Diana, Steve Stevens. He always had a good knack of picking up Eddie Van Halen for Beat It, and then Steve Stevens, and then Slash. And I want people, they should go on YouTube and see Slash playing live with Michael Jackson when he doesn't listen to Michael Jackson after a solo. It's pretty funny.
I saw
Michael
that,
gets
yeah.
mad at him. Fantastic. But I can't do the Michael thing. I respect him. His voice, Dirty Diana, I love. I like a few of his songs. He was too pop for me.
I love it.
He always was too pop for me. I mean, what do you call it? I'm okay. Billie Jean is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Thriller's
You
a
know?
better.
So
Don't
I'm
get me
not
wrong.
saying,
Thriller is a better record, and so is Off the Wall.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
Bad is incredible too. It's still great.
Bad is his third
That-
greatest album, which sounds like an insult.
Right.
But look at the other 2 albums; they're perfection.
Right. Agreed.
Yeah.
Perfectly said.
yeah, he sold Thriller at 70 million. I had to look this up to put this in comparison. Bad sold 35, and Thriller, one of the greatest selling albums of all time, is 70. Double.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's the highest selling album of all time still. I just looked up the list just now. I know that changes between Back in Black and
Right.
stuff, but
Yep. Yeah. Listen, I mean, like not only the greatest selling record, Michael Jackson was untouchable those years. Again, I think it was a thing where another thing he took, not that he got hurt on album sales. 35 million is pretty good.
unfortunately, the little boys went over his house weren't untouchable. But
Yeah, I mean, listen, I forget the quote by someone, but it was like one of the Yankees. They said, Stalin and Hitler could play for the Yankees as long as we win. I don't care who's playing for the Yankees. I don't care about these people as people. Yes, if all that stuff he did with the kids
No, I
is true,
understand.
it's disgusting. I don't care.
I understand.
I listen to the music. If I look at a painting or if I watch an actor on TV, I don't care if I like him in real life. I don't know him. Could care less if I like him. If I like his art, I like the art. I don't like him.
there is one exception:
Who?
Gene Simmons.
What? No, you don't like Gene Simmons or his music. What are you talking about?
I could deal with his music. I can't deal with him at all.
No, stop.
told me
Gene is
that's-
great.
Oh, come on. When you told me when you were on tour with him that you picked up the phone and say, "Hey, Gene, what's up?" And he goes, "Oh, by the way, it's Mr. Simmons." Come on. Come on, man.
Oh,
Stop
but
it.
that's the persona he puts on. He was always, trust me, I hung out with him every day. He's a sweetheart. Talked to my mother on the phone one time, tried to get her to the show. He was a sweetheart. But there was a switch that went off when there was a camera on, or when there was someone that wasn't in the inner circle that was around. He was a different person. And I get it. I didn't understand it at first, but after spending a couple months with him, I saw the differences and why he was different.
But
I get
he's
it.
about the brand. He's about the
Yeah,
brand.
of course. He's
That's
a
what
sales,
he's about.
yeah, he's an obnoxious salesman, but he's also a sweet guy, sweetheart, kind guy too. Not unlike Ernie.
Right.
Hello, Mrs. Cassata. Your son owes me money.
This is Gene Simmons from Kiss.
By the way,
Your son Joseph
by the
owes
way,
me.
your band, the Z's resemble S's. I'm gonna need you to change that. I'm gonna
It's
need
too
you to
close
change
to the
that.
Kiss, the Kiss lightning bolts. Change that.
Come on, man.
All right, so
What is he? He's actually threatened. He was actually threatened by your cover band. Come on.
no, but he's
Whatever.
not. It's listen, like I said, he would have literally given us the shirt off his back. But there's certain things where he's right. It's business.
Yeah, shirt off his back for $50. But anyway, let's move on.
Ernie, how much money do you have in your pocket? Give it to me.
$5. That'll do. That'll do.
You know, the group ABBA is actually suing an ABBA cover band for playing their music right now.
Playing their music or using their name and stuff.
I guess I didn't follow the story that closely, but I assumed it was for playing their music, but without a copy.
Well, the way it works, the way it works is obviously not for all places, but what happens is obviously there's a million cover bands out there. There's been cover bands for years, hundreds of all time. There's everyone playing each other's music, right? There's more tribute bands than ever now, but there's always been top 40 bands playing the songs on the radio. Usually what happens is it's each club, any venue that has live music, they have a built-in fee to their venue that they pay to, whether it's ASCAP or whatever the publishing company is, that they're allowed to have music played by other artists. And those artists, get a little tiny trickle back. So it's not illegal to go to a bar, get paid to play ABBA's music. It's not illegal. That bar pays for the right for you to do that. What's illegal is you can't use the name ABBA and try to advertise that ABBA is playing there that night. That's the sticky situation.
Their brand.
Right.
Right. They're protecting their brand. It's all about brands.
Exactly right. You're
That's all
allowed
it's
to even be in an ABBA tribute band called, whatever. You're allowed to do that. It's just you can't false advertise that it's really ABBA going to be there. For instance, the Kiss tribute band that Tommy brought up before, our name used to be Kiss. We had the Kiss logo, and then tiny in like this other lettering, Nation. Kiss Nation. So, on a marquee where, we had our name on posters and marquees all over the place, it looked like Kiss Nation. So, Gene, we were on the VH1 special with them, and, Gene and Paul appeared on the special with us, but they were like, this logo looks awfully familiar. He's like, and he's like, I forget that.
Paul, I've seen this. Paul, tell me where I've seen this before.
And I forget exactly what he said, but he said
Why
something
are you
like,
going into like William Shatner?
I don't know. I don't have a good Gene Simmons. And he said something to the effect of, we can go about this two ways. You could fix it, or our lawyers could fix it. And we never wind up changing the logo. It was the same thing. We never changed it. We don't give a shit. What was he going to sue us for? Not that we don't have money, but it's true. You know what I mean? It was true. He was technically right. All right. Moving on. Doctor, number 2.
Come on, guys. Which one is this? You got to know it.
So Whitesnake is 1. What's your 2?
Come on. Easy.
Anthrax?
Oh. Among the Living is 87, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know your number 2. I don't know.
Joshua Tree, U2.
Oh, sister's mama.
Whoops.
My sister's mama.
Two great picks back to back. Ozzy. Why is he even on this show, Ernie?
Oh.
I'm always gonna get U2 and Ozzy in there somehow.
Yeah,
Fastest selling album in British history.
Is that?
But that
How could that be true with the Beatles?
fastest selling. It didn't say
Ernie.
they had 25 million copies sold. Fastest selling album.
Look it up.
Shouldn't Britain
That
hate
could be possible.
They're
Right,
Irish?
that's a good point.
What?
They should hate you two.
They're the Irish and the
Yeah,
English.
I didn't. You know, I often thought about that myself. You know, they're from Southern Ireland, so I think the people feel differently about Southern Ireland than the government of Britain feels about Southern Ireland.
Right.
You know, that's obviously the case. But
England, I think England thinks Southern Ireland will soon be part of England. That's why.
That's the same thing with Michael Jackson. It doesn't matter if he's a bad guy. It doesn't matter if U2 is, from a different country and you're at war with them. If you like the music, buy the record. Who gives a shit?
and by the way, just in your sentence, when you say Michael Jackson bad, how could you even watch that video with a?
Hold on, Tommy, you froze. Say it again.
How could you even watch the Michael Jackson bad video with a straight face? That's the one when he starts breaking all the cars for 15, 20 minutes.
No, that's Smooth Criminal, right?
Black and White.
No, when he's breaking the cars. Black and White's not that one.
Yeah, the very end of Black and White.
Oh, that's the end of it. He's just screaming, ah!
Yeah.
Billy's Evans used to play that all the time. We used to cry in tears. But I'm bad. Come on, stop it. I don't, it's comical to me. But anyway, getting back to Joshua.
Well, hold on. No, we don't need to talk about Joshua Tree. Back to Michael Jackson and Billy. Billy, we forgot to mention. Billy is notorious. So Billy, who's been on our show many times, Billy Z. Any party, wedding, possibly even some of the funerals we've been to, somehow Billy always finds a way to bust out into his Billie Jean routine. Am I wrong? Every time. My wedding, he did it. Tommy's wedding, I think, did he do it yours?
He did it. Yes,
Ernie's wedding, he did it. So if I can find video of all the different clips of Billy doing some Billie Jean, I'll insert it now. But it's a crowd stopper, baby. All right, go ahead, Joshua Tree. Pause a second, Doctor. You're freezing again. He's frozen, Ern.
Send it.
Doc, you hear us?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see.
Did you do this on purpose because of U2?
Well, listen. If we can't talk about it, we can't.
Oh, I heard him for like a second, but then he's gone again.
Hold on a second. Let's see if he reconnects.
Bum, bum, bum.
Come out. Come out. Ram?
Hold on.
You good? Can you hear me?
I
had a lot of things open on my phone. I didn't realize. I see you both.
I'm sorry, you froze during the whole the U2 segment. We're gonna have to move on.
It's good to be the boss.
No, we'll pick up there. Go ahead. Talk about Joshua Tree. Come on, give me a best 10-second pitch.
I'll say it again, Joe. I know you can't stand the delay. We've had this conversation on the guitars, but the rhythm section in U2 is unbelievable and powerful. It really is. It always was. All their albums. Their rhythm is fantastic. I know the guitars get to you. They sound repetitive with the delay, but being a drummer, I couldn't see why you would not like U2. I don't get it.
And it's not the guitars. The guitar stuff is cool, but it's not cool every song. It's almost the reason why I don't like Maiden as well. The gallop is fun. It's cool, but not every song. Ah, da, 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 da. You
Well,
too.
then,
But you gotta admit though, you gotta admit, you too does have an edge.
Oh,
Wow,
geez. Very nice. Very nicely done. I don't like the edge that they have.
I never had.
I want to take the edge off, if you know what I mean.
I never heard you. I never heard you two played quite that like that.
Was that a good impression of it? Yeah, he's got it. Ernie, that's perfect.
And that's all 3 hits off of that album.
I remember my
I don't know.
friends were, and I don't know the year, but was Rattle and Hum the same year?
Rattle and Hum, I think, might have came afterwards.
Because I remember my friends all wanted to go see that, and I went to go see it with them, and I was miserable.
Well, you said they got political, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen. I don't care about that
Right.
stuff. I don't care about the content that much. If I like a song, I like a song.
It can be annoying when you're. It can be annoying when you go there to see them play, and they go into a
Yeah, I
you know,
don't mind
political
songs.
tirade.
I
I
don't
mean,
mind songs that are
yeah.
political, but I mind when you're at a concert and someone's preaching to you. That bothers me.
Right, I agree. I'm the same way. But anyway, Bullet the Blue Sky. I mean, Streets of No Name. If you could just take the guitars out of it, I mean, that's powerful bass lines, and powerful drum lines. And I just thought that would appeal to you.
Listen,
A little
there's even bands
All right,
that I hate.
can't win. I keep every time.
Even bands I hate, whether it's Sabbath, Ozzy, U2, there's songs that I like. There's some songs that I like. Don't get me wrong. Some of the Ultimate Sin songs with Ozzy, I like that record. Fool Like You, I think that's a great song. I think there's a lot of good songs on that record. Bark at the Moon, I like that stuff. Even U2, I like Streets Have No Name and With or Without You. There's some good stuff, but as a whole, something about them I don't like. Same thing with Guns N' Roses. Sweet Child of Mine, there's a couple songs I like. All the stuff on Use Your Illusions, I can't listen to. The big ballad, November Rain, I can't get into it.
Agreed.
All right, Ernie, that's
When
enough.
you look into your eyes.
No more U2 and Ozzy crap. Ernie, if you say Ozzy right now, U2, I'm getting ejected. What do you got? Number 2.
I'm not gonna say you too.
Uh-oh.
But Tom, if I have to, if I'm forced to listen to a U2 album though, Joshua Tree is the way to go. I will give you that much.
But shut up, Ernie.
Right.
Never mind. Don't buy these shirts. Don't buy them.
It's better. Why? The money's going to you.
You know what? Hold on. Buy the shirts. I forgot.
Joey Simmons.
This is Gene
You
Simmons.
got to start a new shirt. Ernie Wise.
Just so you know, Ernie's getting the profit from these shirts. I promise he's getting it.
Yes. Joey's promises are worth everything.
Ernie.
I think we sold
Joey,
like
you gotta
7 of
work
these already, Ernie.
That new shirt, Ernie Wise.
Yes.
That'll be
Come
cool.
on, Ern. Number
You
2.
got to work on Ernie Wise.
You're not gonna like my number 2.
Oh, shit.
Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
Christ.
The album has got no filler whatsoever.
Your ass has no filler.
Every song is listenable. I mean, if I have to take out to get me and what's the other one? Think About You. If I got to take those 2 out, I would. But the whole album is perfect, in my opinion. I mean, even the songs that were not hits, It's So Easy, Night Train, Rocket
Yeah.
Queen is my absolute favorite Guns N' Roses song. Mr. Brownstone is on it. I'm very happy with that album. I think I like it better that you don't like it, actually, Joe. To be honest with you, makes me like it even more.
And again,
It's almost like
I contribute
I don't
not
know. It's almost
liking
like
it a
their
little bit.
attitudes.
Yeah, I contributed a little bit too. Listen, I don't mind some of the songs and the musicianship. I don't like Axl, number one. It's almost why I didn't really love Ozzy. I like some of Ozzy's solo band stuff. All the guitarists I love, drummers I love. I don't love Ozzy. I don't love Axl. And I don't love Guns N' Roses because, they were the signifying change in what I would love. So that was the transition phase, and I was, resentful in a way.
You were 9.
I was a resentful 9-year-old.
Let it go. Let it go.
I'm still mad.
Let it go. I separate the person from the band. So I can't. If Axel's a dick. What he's done on stage by walking off concerts, creating riots. I think there was a Toronto concert when they opened for Metallica,
of course,
or vice, and they walk on stage, or it adds to it. It definitely adds to it. I do like Slash a lot. I do. So
yeah, I like the band, and I actually like some of the songs. It's Axl's voice and their demeanor. That's the stuff I don't love. You know what I mean? All right. My number 2.
I know what you're saying.
My number 2, we've talked about this record on other podcasts. This might be the one time he thought I was my number 1. God, I love this record. I know it gets crapped on a lot by the fan base and in general. Twisted Sister, Love is for Suckers. God, I love this record. It's such an underrated record. So many people don't even know it exists. Obviously, Twisted Sister was so big when Stay Hungry came out, and obviously the previous 2 records, Under the Blade and Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Then they came out with Come Out and Play, and it really hurt them. And, we even talked about this with Eddie and Mark on our episode, Ernie, right? With the Twisted episode where, D going to Congress and fighting for censorship and all that stuff really hurt Twisted at that time. And Come Out and Play flopped because they came out with Leader of the Pack first and all that stuff. So after that, Twisted Sister was dead in the water. Then they come out with this record where I'm a firm believer if they come out with this record and instead of Come Out and Play, they were still going to be on top of the world. This record is pure pop, great hooks. It's different than Twisted Sister was. Twisted Sister early on was a real metal band, heavy band. Then they became like this fun, almost cartoony type band, with the We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock. But then this album came out, song after song, hit after hit. Love this record. Love is for Suckers.
What's on that album?
This is the worst Twisted Sister album.
Oh, you're an idiot.
I know, but
you're not gonna know
songs?
any of it. You're not gonna know it. It's Wake Up with the Sleeping Giant, Hot Love, Tonight, Me and the Boys. There's no hits. There's nothing anyone knows. It's just a record that went under the radar.
You bought this album?
I bought it. Not only did I bought it, I loved it.
You bought this album?
Of course I bought it. I mean, bought it, Columbia. No, Columbia House bought it, 12 CDs for a penny.
What?
He bought it because he's got one bad habit.
One word, sucker.
I'm a sucker I'm a Twisted Sister sucker.
Oh.
You're a sucker.
Ernie, hold on. Ernie, say that for me right now.
Oh, he bought it because he's got one bad habit.
No, say Twisted Sister sucker. It's very hard.
Twisted Sister sucker.
Oh, wow. You see, he said it better than I did. Maybe Ernie has no lisp. He's just playing it up to be cute.
Yes. Sell shirts.
Yes.
Schnapps. Schnapps.
All right.
I mean, if I have to listen to this album, I guess I do like the chorus to Me and the Boys.
It's so good. Every song. There's not a lot of albums out there that for me that have zero filler. This has zero filler to me. Love it.
It's the worst of all Twisted Sister
I
albums.
had you
Come
pinned
Out and
for
Play is better.
another album, so that means you left that one for Ernie.
Well,
So
the one I
I'd be
left
very
for Ernie,
surprised if Ernie doesn't say.
the
what
one I left for Ernie is definitely
number one
coming
is.
up at number 1. But for anyone who doesn't know,
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
coming up March 7th at the Cutting Room in New York City, ZO2 is reuniting for one night, and we're having Mark Mendoza from Twisted Sister play all our ZO2 songs with us that night, filling in for David Z, who passed away. Mark volunteered, was a big fan of the band, loves us. So Mark is sitting in with us. It's going to be awesome. Come down, Cutting Room, March 7th, New York City. It's going to be a fun night.
Joe, if I go, Mark won't be near me, will he?
Oh, he's going to hurt you, Ernie. I'm going to love it. You and Robert, he's going to take both double headlock. The Lamonti brothers.
I'm scared of him.
He's a big guy.
Oh,
Yes.
Mark, he's
Is
an
he a
animal.
big guy?
Yeah, he's a monster. Yeah.
He looks like a wrestler, one of the WWF.
Yeah. He's a monster.
He made me cry.
All right, Doctor. We're up to our number ones. We know yours already because I stole it, but let me recap what you got. This list is disgusting, by the way. Number 5, Guns N' Roses. You have 3 of my worst bands ever. Number 5, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. Number 4, Hysteria. Phenomenal. I love it. Number 3, Ozzy tribute album. Number 2, Joshua Tree U2. I mean, you got 3 of my 5 all-time worst bands. And your number 1 favorite record from 1987 is?
You said it already.
That's
Whitesnake.
right.
There it is.
Here
I got
go again.
very bad memories. The only thing I can think of, we spoke about this, about the song already. But I remember you guys were going to Monster of Rock, and Whitesnake was headlining. That's how popular they were. Do you remember that?
I remember going
You,
to see
the Dragos.
Whitesnake with the Dragos in
go.
Philly. I don't think it was on Monsters of Rock though. I think it was just like a
Right.
one-off Whitesnake show.
Yeah, it was, because my ex-girlfriend was there.
Monsters of
I
Rock
didn't
was
go
not
with you
with
guys. I was
Whitesnake.
asked to go.
I went to Monsters of Rock too. It wasn't Whitesnake didn't play on it.
So then they must have had 2 other bands playing with them or something on the ticket. Some major bands.
You knew
But
you were.
I didn't end up going. I thought it was, wait, wasn't it? Yeah, I didn't go because I was supposed to go with my girl somewhere, and she ended up going, and I didn't take the tickets, and I ended up staying home alone.
You
But was there another?
you knew your
Not Triple Dynamite.
There? You said you knew your ex.
Well, she went to that concert.
She didn't say anything about
Yeah.
what happened there, did she?
Uh-oh. Wait, which ex-girlfriend are we talking about here? Not the ex-girlfriend.
Her name is on your shirt. I think.
Oh, can we make those shirts?
You almost did. Look at the shirt.
That's funny. I don't
Look,
know what you're
Doc.
saying, Ernie. I don't know what you're saying, guys. Not cool.
I'm not saying anything.
Not cool. I was very much inspired. Oh Lord. Well, I think you guys get a kick out of that because there's nothing else to say about that. But they did go. You guys went to go see maybe it wasn't Monsters of Rock. I forget. It wasn't Monsters of Rock. You're right.
Steve Vai was playing guitar for them at that time.
Right. We went to go see Triple Dynamite, which was Guns N' Roses, Deep Purple, and Aerosmith.
Yep.
In Meadowlands. That's when they did the video for Paradise City. They were filming.
Yep. And
We missed it. We were caught in traffic.
Joe, we got there so late. When we walked on, we heard Axel say, "Thank you, good night."
No.
Yeah.
That's like when we went to see Enough's
That
Enough
traffic got-
in Manhattan.
Stop it. No,
Remember?
Stop.
We went to see Enough's. Where did we go? Was it Webster Hall?
No, it was the old
Palladium?
with the where Blondie and them used to play.
What was the name of the place?
CBGBs?
Punk rock.
No.
Maybe CBGB.
It was CBGB?
Yeah, it was the old CBGB.
No, it was someplace
Yeah,
that
but it
had like
wasn't
an
CBGB.
attic. Like we went. Oh, they were like, oh no, Enough's Enough is playing in the upstairs room.
Webster Hall?
I don't know. I forget. Maybe I feel like it was Webster Hall, but it doesn't
No.
matter. We go to see Enough's Enough. All of our basically our favorite band at the time. We were fanatics. We go see Enough's Enough in the city. We walk in. They say, "Oh, is Enough's Enough on yet?" Oh no, they're not on yet. They're not gonna be on for a while. So Tommy, of course, instead of going into the bar because we're all young at this time, we have no money really. We have no income. Instead of spending money at the bar, he says, "Well, we'll go outside. We'll grab a couple 6-packs, whatever. We'll get a couple drinks. We'll drink outside. That way we don't have to waste all our money in the place." So we go out. By the time we drink whatever the hell we were drinking out in the parking lot, we go back in to see Enough's Enough. We get up, finally go all the way upstairs to go see them. What was it? All right, we got one more for you tonight. We're so mad.
Ray Young was pissed.
He was so, and then we're even to top it off. we said, okay, we need something to commemorate at least going to see them. And you Enough's Enough didn't have a lot of popular videos then. They had a VHS cassette. Remember this for sale? And we bought me, Ray, and I think Billy bought one. And it was all their videos, and it was terrible. And we were all so mad, not only that we missed the show, but that we bought this stupid cassette. It was awful.
I think it was in like Alphabet City.
That's what I think
It was,
too.
it was on the east side.
Yeah, it was. I don't even know the name of the place, but it was. It was on the east side somewhere.
I thought it was the old. I thought it was the old CB. I thought it was the old CBGBs under a new name.
It definitely was not CBGB's.
What's the old church?
No, the
Limelight.
Limelight. It wasn't Limelight.
Wasn't Limelight?
I don't remember the name. Maybe Ray would know.
Ray would know. But I don't want to. I don't want to recash old memories. He might get mad again.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Of course you
all-
do.
To bring it up.
That's all we
No,
do
Ernie.
on these
No,
things.
Ernie.
That's the
No,
exact
Ernie.
reason we're
No,
here.
Ernie. I turned the page and I forge forward, Ernie. I turned the page. You keep turning the page backwards. Bringing up old stuff, Ernie Wise.
Oh, you want to talk about bringing up old stuff? You watch the Paradise video? No, the Paradise City video. There's a part of the video
Right.
where they show the crowd and they show 4 empty seats.
It was Chris Canavan driving, remember?
Hold on. Keep talking.
Oh,
It was Chris Canavan. We told him, you brought him here, you get rid of him. That's what I was told.
do you remember that you thought
You brought him to the block.
do you remember that you thought the receipt that said how many you bought was one of the tickets? And you
Oh, right.
and so we called Joe Bacardi at the
Before
last
he had an
second.
extra
"We have another ticket. Remember calling Joe Bacardi saying we had another ticket?
That's right.
We came and then we realized we didn't.
Right. Well, we never bought tickets back then.
Yeah, we
Who
never.
had money?
They
Like,
shouldn't have
these
like
were
that.
major
They shouldn't have- they shouldn't have
financial
printed-
decisions.
Yeah. They shouldn't have printed the thing on one ticket.
When you have 4 friends that are like 20 years old, 19 years old, whoever's going to be the first one who's going to lay out the money to get the 4 tickets, that was a big decision to make. Who's going to buy the 4 tickets?
Absolutely.
You know, usually our parents would step in and do that,
You're talking
and we'd
19.
have to give them the money. You know,
You're talking 1988 too. I mean, we were kids. We were just kids.
yeah.
All right, Ernie. We're up to your number 1. I have to know what it is, and if you don't pick it, I'm gonna be mad. Let me
No,
recap. Number 5, In Excess. What's the name of the album? Kick.
Yeah.
Number 4, the ever popular diamond selling Boogie Down Productions. What else, Ernie? What is it called?
The name of the album, Criminal Minded.
Well, I mean, of course.
What was the rapper's name again? What was the rapper's name?
KRS-One.
UHF. UHF. What?
Oh, you make fun of KRS-One. You guys are so ignorant.
Number 3, Hysteria, Def Leppard. Number 2, Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses. And the number 1 album of 1987 is,
For me, Sign of the Times
yes,
by Prince.
All right, I knew it. I knew one of you two would have it.
It's the only Prince album for me that actually competes with Purple Rain. If I'm talking to Prince fans and they say any other Prince album is better than Purple Rain, I will argue with them, except for Sign of the Times. And I'll say, you know something? You have a good argument. That's how good Sign of the Times is.
I've been meaning to watch this. I've been meaning to listen to this. What are some of the songs on this again?
Sign of the Times, You Got the Look. But there's
it has my two, possibly my 2 favorite Prince songs. That's why I almost picked it.
The Cross.
Yep. And what's the other one, Ern?
I Could Never Take the Place of Your
Of
Man.
course, which is my number 1 favorite Prince song.
Think of it like this. If Purple Rain, I'll put it in Beatles language. If Purple Rain is Sgt. Pepper, this is the White Album, basically. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Really.
No, that's up to opinion. I would say Rubber Soul, but go ahead.
Yeah. I agree. Rubber Soul is the best Beatle record. But
Well, yeah.
I do think you're right. This album is fantastic, but the difference between this and Purple Rain for me, and the reason why Purple Rain is better, this has more filler than Purple Rain. The great songs on this record rival the great songs on Purple Rain, but it has some songs that aren't great. Purple Rain is just about all great.
Is Sign of the Times a double album where they just had more albums like the White Album?
Yeah,
I
They had
believe
more
it
songs
is,
or the
yes.
same amount of
Yeah,
songs?
it was,
as Purple
no,
Rain?
it was
way more
two records.
songs.
It was 2 records when it came out.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is like I know what you mean. It's like the White Album then,
Yeah.
because there was a lot of filler songs on the White Album. I know what you're saying.
Yep,
Okay,
that's exactly what he means.
that makes
yeah.
sense now.
Of
Yeah,
course, Prince
okay,
wanted it to
gotcha.
be 3 records, by the way.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a maniac.
Man, how do you? You look at Purple Rain. I know he got pissed off at the record company, and he was told to steer. How I don't know what he was told, what he was pissed off about. But after Purple Rain becomes so famous, and then he turns on the record company and says, "You know what? I don't know how you argue. Like you guys made me write one of the greatest albums of all time, and now I'm mad at you, so I'm changing my name." I never understood. I mean,
Listen, I don't know
I
don't know the deal that he signed. Obviously, if he signed a bad deal and he sold, if he sold 30 million records for Purple Rain and didn't make a lot of money, yeah, I agree with him. But
I don't think that. No,
I don't think
it had
that's the
something to
case
do-
either. Yeah, I think
It had
artists
something to do with it had something to do with the production of Purple Rain.
artists
You didn't
just
have
after a
artistic control
while
or something. There was some weird shit going on.
after a while these guys just lose their minds. You know what I mean? They just they don't live in the same reality we live in. That's
Did,
what happens.
Did Prince
was
ever
unhappy.
play?
He was unhappy about the speed, the amount of time before the next album's released. He
Right.
wants his new album released the very next week.
Right. He has songs in his brain just
Right.
overflowing, and he wants music. And the record label, and I got to tell you, record label's right, because as much as I love Prince, when he started releasing stuff independently, I couldn't keep up. That Crystal Ball record, it was like 5 CDs, whatever the hell it was. I couldn't keep up. There was so much filler on it, and it was just overload. I couldn't digest it all. And that's really an age. Go ahead, Aaron. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say something funny about Crystal Ball to show how insane Prince is. There was another album hidden in the back of the Crystal Ball box.
I remember.
A whole
Right.
new album that nobody knew about was hidden there. inside
And
of the
Crystal
box.
Ball was already 3 or 4 CDs, right?
Yeah, the album "The Truth" was like you had to open a thing at
How
the
many
bottom
songs?
of it.
How many
Chris-
songs would you say?
Crystal Ball was like over 40 songs at least, right?
Yeah.
The Truth was the acoustic record, Ern?
Yeah, it was his
Yeah.
unplugged, but he decides to write all new songs for it. For his
Oh, he was unhappy at the time, huh? I would have dropped off my mother-in-law. That would have cheered him up.
Yep.
But that really is an age-old question. I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. I've had this argument with my band and bands I've been in too. What would you rather, as a fan? Would you rather a 10-song album where you can't say what's good or bad because it's about who likes what. Would you rather a 10-song record from your favorite band, or would you rather a 15-song record from your favorite band? Maybe the general public says 15 songs, there's 5 filler on there. But maybe as a diehard, you love those 5.
Those are those used to be called B-sides.
Right.
So I always loved them.
What about you, Ern?
Once you get really, really deep into a group like you would Kiss, even the filler stuff you start to love though.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And that's really my take too. Listen, I get it. I get the short and sweet, always leave them wanting more, have everything be killer. But sometimes you don't know as the artist, you don't know what the killer song is. Sometimes you got to let your fan base decide what the killer one is. Maybe you think these 10 songs you're releasing are perfect, but maybe the general public thinks there's 3 fillers on there, where if you would have released the other 5, those were the 5 ones that people gravitate towards. I'm always a firm believer of releasing more music than less.
Thus, like a great producer who will get involved in the songwriting or the arrangements of a song. If he sees something, they have a pretty good idea of what's going on at that time in music. You never know. They have a good,
but
feel
even
for it.
that, how many times have we heard stories of Oh, I had to fight with my record label. I had to fight with my producer to get this song on the record. Like Billy Squire, I know the old story, the song "The Stroke." The record company wanted nothing to do with it. The producer hated it. Was the biggest single off that record. So many of these records, a Richard Marx song, "Right Here Waiting," easily his biggest record of all time. The record company and his producer wanted nothing to do with it. They said it was a throwaway.
When you say producers are 80% correct.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would say they most of the time they know what they're talking about.
The good producers out there, they know what they're doing. As far as what the
all I'm saying is
fanhood work here.
Anyone could be wrong. Nobody's in tune with what the public wants all the time. Otherwise, everything they do would be a hit, right?
Exactly.
So you never know what's going to be the most popular song. All right, Ern. Yeah, great choice. That was the one that I left off. I knew you were going to take it. It would have made my list probably only because of the great songs on it. But overall, when I look back at it, there's a little bit too much filler to have would have made my list.
You got too much filler.
But your ass has too much filler.
Your ass, you got your ass, George.
I wish you wouldn't have had to put those words.
Ready? Ready? I got you, Lou. You got your ass, George.
All right, so I did a little trickery for my number one. So my number one, there's a Kiss album this year, but my rule all across these podcasts, unless it's a specific Kiss episode, I'm not putting Kiss stuff in because just so everyone knows, Kiss will always be my number one on these lists. The Kiss Crazy Nights album, I would put above all these records for me. That would be my number one.
It's such a good album.
It's fantastic. But I don't do it because it's too easy that way. Kiss is always my number one, and I go down from there.
What you're saying right now is throwing me under the bus. You're indirectly saying, I don't do it, but Snyder will bring up Ozzy every 2 seconds.
Well, listen, I don't need to show everyone knows that I love Kiss above everything else.
I see what you're doing.
You obviously don't love Ozzy better than U2, because U2 is higher picked. How do you pick Joshua Tree over the tribute album?
If it was any Ozzy album, it would have been number one, but not remade songs live.
Still would be number one for me.
I also see what you're doing, but it doesn't bother me.
Well, you do it every week. That's why. But this week, so what I'm getting at, this week I threw a little wrench, a little curveball, little boomerang action going on here. So I did not choose a Kiss record for my number one record. And I know this is going to sound like sacrilege. This really is my favorite record from this year. The debut Frehley's Comet album. Ace Frehley's solo band, their first record. I'm a big Kiss fan, obviously, at this time. Ace had left the band, when I was, 7 years old. So I don't know Ace as a current member almost ever. I saw them live when I was little, but I don't know them currently. Been waiting for years for Ace's solo material. I used to get bootlegs out in, Manhattan on H Street and hear demos of Ace's. Always wanted to hear Ace Frehley's solo album. He finally comes out with this solo record. Still, to me, one of my top 20 records of all time. Absolutely love it. Frehley's Comet. What do you guys think of this record?
So by 1987, you found out that wasn't Ace that was still in Kiss at that time? Because how would you know with the makeup?
A little slow. He's a little slow, Ernie.
Tell me, Aaron, what do you think of this record?
Well, I was asking you, did you hear my question?
No.
By 1987, did you finally realize that wasn't Ace that was still in Kiss?
Well, Kiss is obviously, as much as I love them, they're the biggest liars on the planet. They, when Ace left the band, for years they would, for the first few years, they were like, no, Ace didn't leave the band. He had a car accident. He can't tour. This guy Vinny's just filling in for Ace. Everything Kiss says is lies. I know that. So again, it's not about liking all the characters and the people. It's about liking what they do artistically. But yes, I knew Ace wasn't in the band anymore. You guys know this album at all?
Was this with Rock Soldiers?
Yes.
Is this the one with the New York song? What does he sing?
No, New York Groove is Ace's solo album when he was in Kiss.
Yeah, no, I have no use for this album because I don't know it.
I
That's the one
remember,
song. It's a great song. It's a great song, and I just don't know it.
much like U68
I'll check it out.
you guys, remember WSOU, right? That was the big station in our area, right? 89.5.
The Jersey, yeah, it
Seton
was a
Hall.
Jersey
Yep.
College.
Seton Hall University. I knew one of the DJs, Tony
They're still
Bones.
around, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know and they still play metal and stuff. But I remember, obviously, no freaking regular station is playing the new Ace Frehley record, but WSOU, it wasn't out yet, and they were going to play the first single, and they played Rock Soldiers. And I remember, like, SOU would always go on late at night. I was almost sleeping. I'm holding my two fingers on my stupid record button on my cassette player, like this. And they were like, and this is the new Ace Frehley record. I'm like, hit record. The next morning I woke up, the tape ended, but I got the song.
That's cool.
Rock Soldiers.
Really
was
cool.
it?
Rock Soldiers, yeah.
Well, I have a lot of empathy and compassion for him. He's actually a really good guitarist. I was listening to old Kiss when he plays and stuff. He's got some really cool riffs. He's like, and actual riffs. I mean, decent riffs that I really like. I enjoy old Kiss.
Yeah, he's old school. He's
it's
Jimmy
hard-
Page. He's that type of guitar player.
I don't push it, but
What?
yeah, he was Jimmy Page.
Well, he's that style. He's the blues type guitar player. He's not a flashy
Yeah.
guitar player.
Yeah, but I feel, for what happened with the band, stuff like that. And obviously, Gene you know more about this shit than I do, but he's trying to run a straight show. And if he's going out there getting zonked every night, I mean, I like watching bloopers of Kiss because I get a kick out of it when Paul Stanley's wig flies off or Peter Criss forgets the lyrics to one of the songs that he sings.
Beth?
Or he forgets what crowd or what city he's in, and they all start booing him. And Paul goes, "It was a joke. It was a joke. He knows where he was."
That's not a bad
It's like,
that's not a bad impersonation.
But,
But a funny thing about Ace, the rumors always through the years, they keep getting rid of Ace because he's a drunk and he's a druggie, blah, blah, blah. Kiss has never fired Ace Frehley. Every time Ace has left the band, he's never been fired from Kiss. He left all the times. He could not deal with Gene and Paul anymore. They, again, back to Kiss being liar. Yeah, Gene and Paul spin history, to the victor goes the spoils, right? So they can rewrite history. So they would always rewrite it. When he would leave, they would spin it in the media because they're still in Kiss. They get the media coverage. Oh, we couldn't deal with him anymore. He was on drugs and we had, we're a clean band and blah, blah, blah. Never the case. Ace left both times. After the first time and after the reunion, Ace left. And they begged him both times to stay too.
But he did have significant drug.
He was a mess up all over the place. Peter Criss, they fired.
Same thing with Peter Criss?
No, they let Peter go both times.
Oh, okay. How do you rate him as a drummer, Joey?
Back in the 70s when Kiss first started, he was unstoppable.
No. Come on. As a drummer, period.
Yeah, as a drummer in the 70s, early Kiss stuff, unstoppable. He was, a combination of Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix and Keith Moon. He was awesome. And he lost it over the
Chris
years.
is talking about.
Peter Criss.
No, I'm saying Peter Criss.
Peter Criss, yes.
You said Hendrix.
Yes, Peter. I said Mitch Mitchell from Jimi Hendrix. The Jimi Hendrix drummer.
Okay. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
No, Peter Criss was an innovative drummer back in the 70s. Innovative swing, groove, shuffles. Just a great rock and roll drummer with amazing chops. Over the years, he lost it. He didn't play, drugs and alcohol and all this stuff. He lost over the years. But when he first came out from 74 to 78, unstoppable. Great drummer.
No, he's got some really cool drum licks. But did you ever get to meet him?
Yeah, plenty of times. Yeah, hung out with Peter on many occasions. Sweet, super sweet guy.
How were you the first time?
Very
nervous or?
It's weird. The very first time, this is a funny story. The very first time I met him, I played sometimes with this 80s tribute band called Rubik's Cube. And Peter was coming down to the show to hang out. He knew someone, that was there. And we heard that Peter was coming to the show. And I'm like a giddy schoolgirl. Peter was my idol growing up. So I'm losing my mind. And I'm doing everything I can to meet, it was set up that we were going to meet Peter before we went on. Peter's running late. Peter's running late. Peter's running late. And, to go on stage with this 80s band, we would get into ridiculous 80s costumes, giant wigs and spandex, and look like, we would dress like Motley Crue or Twisted Sister. We would look ridiculous. So finally it was like 2 minutes before showtime, and I couldn't wait any longer. I wanted to meet Peter as me. I said, okay, obviously he's not coming. Get all ready. Boom, boom, boom. I get my wig on, the bandana, all this stuff. Peter's coming backstage where he wants to meet you guys. He's here right now. Peter walks in. I have to meet Peter Criss dressed as fucking this Mama Luke with his wig on and stuff. I felt like such an idiot. So I said hello. I was stuttering a little bit, and then later on, I actually told him this story. I met him, many times years later. We hung out, had dinner with him one time with him and his wife, and super sweet guy, great guy.
Are you sure that was Peter?
Awesome.
Criss? Maybe it was a mirror.
What? Excuse me?
Maybe it was a mirror.
No, Peter was. Peter wrote the foreword to my book. He super nice guy, great guy, super supportive. I was in a band I'm Italian drummer in the band with two Jewish guys. He was in the Italian drummer in the band with two Jewish guys. We had a lot to talk about.
It sounds like you're about to tell a joke.
Yeah. Two Jewish guitars walking in a bar to an Italian restaurant.
Italian drummer and two Jews walk into a bar.
Well, Joey, I'm glad because you said giddy schoolgirl. I thought you said guinea schoolgirl.
Which is actually just as funny.
But,
Wait, pause 1 second. I gotta grab my dog. He's
that's
outside in the rain.
That was great. That was real quick. So you're staying there all night, huh?
I've been here since Monday, Ernie. I've been here since Monday. We had problems in the plant last night. I was ready to go to the Holland Tunnel, and they closed the Holland Tunnel. I shot up to the Lincoln Tunnel, and then the plant went down, and they asked me to come back from uptown to here. So I just stayed here last night, and Pennsylvania's getting ice rain tonight.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I wasn't going to go home and get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive into Manhattan. So screw that. So.
Everything's okay
it
with
seems
family
like-
now? With
Yeah.
coronavirus?
Yeah, everything's good.
Good.
I think I respect Paul Stanley though. It seems like he's been the peacekeeper in between. It's Gene, those two, and Paul's in the middle. Because you see the interviews,
Yeah.
like Paul will smirk at Ace Frehley's comments and jokes in an interview, and he's caught in between, and I feel bad for him because he seems like a nice guy, Paul.
Listen, they all have their hangups, each one of them. I know,
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, it is what it is. Paul Stanley
Yeah.
he's a weird guy. Sweet guy too, but weird. One of those guys that,
Right.
rock star, but he's uncomfortable in his own skin. You know what I mean? One of those guys.
Right.
Like, so self-conscious of
Gotcha.
everything he does. And just, again, Gene on the outside, everyone thinks he's an asshole, but Gene, out of all the guys, Gene and Peter are the two sweetest guys.
Cool. It's awesome.
All right, let's do some honorable mentions. It's a great episode. Obviously, between all these albums, what fantastic records, 1987. Incredible. What do you got for honorable mentions, Doctor?
I was appalled at how much they grew up. I put on Anthrax, Amongst the Living. I really despise it.
Wow,
that's when I
really?
started going to the rap. Well, I'm a big Spread of the Disease guy. I am a heavy metal guy. I like melody. I like good singing. The singer got away from that. They started rapping a lot. There was an era there where everyone was wearing like skateboard shit.
Yeah.
Like a skateboarder.
They
That
kind of
type
started
era.
that too, right?
Well, in heavy metal, they did. They went that way. And the Ants reply like bop bop bop. Yeah, he'd sing and they would yell in the microphone, but he would be choppy when he sang on this album. It was a different style than I was used to from Spreading the Disease album, which I freaking loved, and I'll put that still up there, as one of the top, albums, heavy metal albums, because I love that album. But somehow someone made a choice that they were going to go more rap, I don't know what it's called. West Coast
No,
skateboarder.
but I feel like Among the Living wasn't that more like when they did the Not stuff, Ernie, and I'm the Man, right? Among the Living was a
Right.
little bit before that, I feel, right?
Yeah, but caught in a mosh.
Yeah,
I'm the Man
Mosh.
was not on this album. It
No,
was
it
an EP. thing.
After this album, right?
No, I
It
think I'm
was.
the Man
Yeah.
was the year before this, actually. I think.
I feel
Was
like
it?
it was after.
86.
Let me check.
I felt like it was after too because I'm thinking Skeletons in the Closet that
No, but
came out after.
Yeah, Among the Living had Caught in the Mosh. Indians was great. Yeah, this is a great record.
Indians is a great song. Indians is the only song on that album. I ran through it today. To me, resembles old Anthrax with actually a good melody, and good singing. He got caught up too much in choppy vocals.
I don't
I didn't like it.
I just want to clarify something. Honorable mention. It's supposed to be albums that we like.
Good point, Ernie.
Yeah, well, Ernie, you know what my honorable mention was? In Excess. Kick.
Oh, good.
So, so we have good taste, right? We have the same. So yeah, Kick. But we already went into that. So, but I had to put down because I did list it as my honorable mention. And I said, it has to be. I used to love Anthrax. And then I put it on the computer and I just gave it a quick run through on the album. And my engineer's looking at me. He's going, you don't look too thrilled. I'm going, I'm not. I don't even know what I saw in this album until I got to like maybe 2 songs in a whole album.
It's weird.
They changed so
it's
much.
Weird. Like IMDb says it's on. It says it's from Among the Living, but I know it's not.
What? I Am the Man.
Oh, I'm looking up the wrong song. Jesus
I Am the
Christ.
Law.
No, I'm looking up Caught in the Mosh. Jesus.
Caught in the Mosh. NFL is on that. Indians, of course. What's the other one?
Miffle Skillskin, whatever the hell that was.
And NFL. Yeah.
Same year.
Right.
Oh, same year was 87.
Yeah, the end of '87, in December of '87. So technically after Among the Living.
Yeah, they started that whole thing. I couldn't get into it. It seemed, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I don't know.
Yeah,
about you guys.
growing up at that
I don't
time
even know
period.
if you like the original Anthrax.
At the time, I remember liking Among the Living the best, but looking back, Spreading the Disease is the best.
Yeah, Skeletons. Isn't the second album Skeletons in the Closet? Is it? I don't even know.
Well, it's Fistful of Metal, right, Ern? And then I thought Spreading the Disease, no?
I think Spreading is the second album.
That's what I thought.
Fistful of
It is.
Metal is like
yeah,
nothing.
but
I mean, I don't think anybody listens to that.
It's like an EP, right?
Spreading
Kind of.
the Disease.
Well, what's the first record? Fistful of Metal, no?
There is a first record. I think it has a different singer.
I think so, Ernie. You're correct.
Because they have a remake of an Alice Cooper, I'm 18 on that album. In the first one.
Let me see right now.
It's not a good album. I wouldn't worry about it.
No, Fistful of Metal is the first record, 84. Spreading the Disease, 85. Among the Living, 87.
Is Joey Belladonna the singer for the Fistful of Metal?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know that record that much, but I can. Oh, we will
Well,
tell in a second.
why don't you use what? I was about to say, why don't you use that what you just used to look it up the answers?
It doesn't sound like Joey Belladonna.
No,
I think that they
That's
had
not
a
him.
singer.
Yeah.
it's not him. Spreading the Disease was amazing.
Agreed.
Yeah, good stuff.
Amazing album.
All right, Aaron,
Had
what do
a
you got?
little bit of everything on it.
Honorable mention.
All right. Once again, I don't think this is in you guys' wheelhouse. I really like Music for the Masses from Depeche Mode. This album and Violator, these two Depeche Mode albums are, if you ever want to start getting Depeche Mode, I would begin with these two.
Yeah, I just don't know it. I don't know enough about them to comment. I wish I could make fun of you, Ernie, but I don't even know enough about them.
I saw Depeche Mode, but I forgot. Ernie, I like Depeche Mode, but who doesn't? Some of the songs, Tainted Love and stuff. But what's on that album? Is it Tainted Love? Or?
No, Tainted Love is not Depeche Mode, right, Ernie?
No, it's not.
Yeah. What you're thinking of, Personal Jesus, I think, is the song you're thinking of. Personal Jesus was Depeche Mode. But that's the Violator album, which is next, which is also a great album.
Who sings the other one?
Tainted Love, Soft Cell.
Soft Cell, yeah.
They're like a one-hit one.
What a great song. Did we ever do that? Top 5 one-hit wonders?
I don't think so.
Well, we got next week's topic, boys.
Oh, that's too much homework. Because then I got to go through my favorite songs, and which will work. You go through your favorite songs that you don't know who the band is.
Yeah, perfect. Like Ernie has that guy that's 3 different bands, right? He keeps renaming himself.
Oh yeah, I could use my list from the other thing for one-hit wonders.
What was that guy's name again, Ernie?
Tony Burrows.
What else, Ernie? Get rid of your Depeche Mode crap. What else?
Well, the other one you mentioned was the Michael Jackson album. Yeah, I happen to love Man in the Mirror too.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, stop it.
Oh,
Man in the Mirror is a great song. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Michael Jackson stuff. I love it. Yeah, my stuff was named already too.
Respect him, love him.
I don't respect him, and I don't love him. I love his stuff. Kind of like
a new Rothman. You dealt with Rothman. He never trusted Roth.
Yeah, my honorable mentions were named too. Sign of the Times and Hysteria. Those are my 2 big honorable mentions. I didn't have any other major ones that I left off. You know, it's funny. As great as the year was for albums, I think maybe the first Whitney album was this year too, Ernie, which is obviously a pretty big album, right? Was that the first? Yep. Which that's a good album too. Not one of my favorites of all time, but
there was a Debbie
Gibson album too. Yeah.
I would take the Debbie Gibson over to Whitney Houston, actually.
But this is not Debbie's first record, is it? 87? Maybe.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know. She looked older on the album.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Tommy, you remember the girl in our? You remember the girl in our neighborhood we always called Debbie Gibson?
Who was that, Ernie? I don't remember.
Her name was Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins, if you're watching this, or you know someone that's watching this, Kerry Collins from Marine Park, email us at top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. Ernie and Tommy want to talk to you.
She's my first kiss.
Ernie, what was that? What the hell? I mean, why is this?
It was
that's amazing.
What day that was? When I kissed her was Eddie Romeo's father remarried. It was that day. Remember the whole block, all the parents were gone because they went to the wedding, and there was drinking in every house on that block.
Where did this poor girl live?
I don't know. She was.
I would stop this conversation right now.
She was on the block that day. She was on the block.
But she's from the neighborhood. You guys knew her. You didn't meet her that day. You knew her.
I met her that day.
Oh,
Ernie, I would stop this conversation right now, or you're gonna wake up in the morning and your head's gonna look like that Death Star behind you. And Colleen takes a bat to it.
Afterwards, Tommy, you remember afterwards you started dating Sean Toner? Then I think she started dating Tommy Leahy for a little bit.
Oh, nice girl.
And then I think she
yeah, but you ruined it for them.
Then I also think she might
I remember. I couldn't put a face.
I think she
did I have
Billy Demish on New Year's Eve.
Wait, who's the girl that Billy? What was it? The story you were waiting for, and Billy walked her home or something? What's that? That's not her.
Yeah, it's the same girl.
This is her. This is the famous story. Tell that story right now.
New Year's Eve, I was in Gallagher's, and she was there, and I've been in love with her since that first kiss and everything. So I'm spending the night. I'm spending the night. We're drinking together. We're walking all the way home. We're holding hands walking home. And then we get almost all the way home to floods.
Hold on, Ernie. Hold on. Let me get comfortable. Hold on. So tell me what happened next.
Well, keep in mind, Flatbush Avenue. Flatbush Avenue is a far walk.
All right, go ahead.
Walking all the way down Quinton Road from Flatbush Avenue. Blocks and blocks and blocks.
Holding hands.
Holding hands, the whole thing. We get the floods.
Which is 37. Yeah.
Billy Zemish comes out of floods. Billy Zemish comes out of floods, sees her, takes her away.
Son of a bitch.
Billy stole her.
The real monster has
Didn't
been
you guys
revealed.
used to say the olive oil boys, the guinea, what's the, in the Hamptons?
His sauerkraut voice. What we used to say? What did we say, Ernie?
Billy, a sauerkraut voice and his beer charm, like his Guinness charm.
I've had women all over the world, but none like this.
I never forgave Billy for that. He's still. Oh.
Oh, I know that. How do you think I know the story? I don't even know you back then. This story went through the Hamptons.
Her? He knew her. He was dating her.
No, but he saw her and they he started walking with us and he stole her away from me.
He swept her out of he walked out of the bar as they're passing and he literally started walking with them. And next thing he knows, she's not holding Ernie's hand. She's got her hand on Billy's ass.
This is Billy.
This is a true story.
Billy Rico Strabe.
Billy's
are you kidding me? He made a move like that. He just came down the bar and goes, "Hey, yo, like Fonzie, come over here," and just started walking with her.
You know, I should have punched Billy in the face.
You should have took a back to his head.
Something tells me you did punch Billy too, Ernie.
I'm not done. Billy still needs a beating.
Again, I know this story. Every new person that came into the Hampton house, this was the first story we told.
If it was me, Ernie, I would have collected every address in the neighborhood and delivered it to Billy's house. Pissed off.
All right, boys, this was a good one. Recapping our favorite records from 1987. Great stuff. Some great records. We'll figure out what we're gonna do next week. This is fun. We're back, full steam ahead. No more DeVito Ernie episodes for a while, unless we're in desperate need. But maybe we'll have DeVito on again, eventually anyway. But I think the viewers need a little bit of a break. They had 2.5 hours of DeVito and Ernie. DeVito's poor Ernie said 3 words.
Ernie, do you know what a G-string is actually made out of? The material on a G-string that's in the chord, the Black Sabbath song. I can imagine.
Go back to our Ernie contest is happening right now. These great, fantastic Ernie T Shirts are available on Amazon right now. Just type in top 5 with Joey Cassata Ernie shirt, or just type in Ernie shirt. Maybe it'll come up.
Ernie Wise soon to follow.
We're working on the new one. But again, if you take a picture of yourself wearing this Ernie shirt, we'll have you on for a quick hello. The first person to send me a picture with you wearing Ernie shirt, holding the Ernie shirt, double purchase, is going to be a guest on one of our episodes. Any last word, boys?
Ernie, you're already on the show. You can't send in a picture. Just so you know.
Yes, Ernie, you're already on.
Also, wearing the Ernie shirt, holding the Ernie shirt, and the Ernie shirt hanging behind them. When they're on the show, they could come to my house.
You heard it here first.
Oh no, forget it.
And of course,
to my house.
Regular top 5 T-shirts are available too on Amazon.com. Top 5 logos. We're working on the Doctor / Monster design right now. I'm trying to get it approved by the Doctor. He's very picky, so we're trying to get those shirts designed as we speak. Any last word, boys? What do you got?
Had fun.
Yeah, I love you guys. Be safe, be well. Give my love to the families. And it was good. It's always fun. Always fun. Love it.
Send your comments to top5withjoeycassata@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.
Schnapps.